Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. I left my new friend to die. I found this adorable orange kitten shivering by my little brother at Euro school on Halloween. I took her in and immediately saw that she was covered in fleas. I didn't have the right things to get the fleas off of her, so I just used my soap and gave her like 3 baths. She was so cute and affectionate. She always licked my face and always slept in my arms. The thing is that I'm not allowed to have cats under my Momo house because they mess with her breathing. She has COPD. She eventually ended up popping up in my Momo peripheral after VE had her hidden in my room. Since I found her, my mom started yelling at me about bringing cats in the house and whatnot. So I had to let her out. As soon as I let her out, a big snowstorm came. I tried to find her for 2 days and eating me up because I know she's most likely dead. I wish I were more responsible with handling her. Or I wish I coulda VE just fought for her to stay. That's all I had to say. Bye. Edit. Thank you all for the kind and positive comments. A lot of you have suggested I start helping out at animal shelters. Which doesn't sound like a bad idea. Also grammar. End of story. Next story. I'm getting my girlfriend of 6+ years an engagement ring. I just finished my tax return and when the Gov decides to run again, we'll be getting enough back to pay in full for the ring I created for my girlfriend. We are moving across the country together this year and I wanted to get engaged as we start our new adventure in life together. Before I was worried about how to afford the ring as you have to pay in full, and we have had a few recent hardships taking out of what we had saved to move. Now I only have to worry about keeping this a secret for a few months. I'm so excited. Edit. Instead of replying to everyone who feels the need to criticize me buying this EUR just say this. We have saved a shit ton of money to move and wanted a nice cushion. Both our animals in November had unexpected health issues and we spent $3,000 plus on them within a month on top of regular holiday shit. I had wanted to propose when we moved, but because we do care about finances, I was going to wait until we put that back in savings. I was only here to express my excitement for being able to propose in the time and place I wanted. I shouldn't have to defend how I spend my own dollar. I wasn't on an advice thread. Sad some people are so unhappy and unhelpful at the same damn time. Edit number 2. Thank you so much, kind stranger, for the gold. VE never gotten that on here before. And I can think of a better post to get it on. Also thank you to everyone kind words, you are making me even more excited. I appreciate all you beautiful people. End of story. Next story. I really like it when people refer to me as op or they in comments because it makes me feel like I'm popular enough that the person that wrote the comment doesn't think LL have time to respond. End of story. Next story. As a young boy first experiencing erections, my first thought was that it was some kind of self-defense mechanism. I must have been 8 or 9 if I can remember well enough. When I first started getting erections, I noticed it happening when I would roughly play with myself. Having some knowledge of animal behavior, lacking in the procreation side, it made me think of other animals that puff up, get big or harden as a means of self-defense. Like puffer fish. I would experiment and kind of punch or whack my dick and it would get big and hard. It seemed very obvious at the time. Edit. Haha, I love all the responses. But I wasn't thinking of it as self-defense for myself as a whole person but for my dick as a kind of individual. End of story. Next story. I was manipulated into a fucked up relationship when I was 15 by a man who was in his 50s, and this is the second time I've said anything no one knows. He told me if I wasn't his boyfriend then he would kill himself, and he slashed his wrist in front of me. He even moved into my apartment complex to be near me, and it wasn't until I was 17 that I pulled my dad's gun to his face and said I would murder him right there that he left me alone. I'm 31 now and I don't go a week without thinking about what happened. I'm sure because of him and what he did is why I'm attracted to older men and grovel for their acceptance and have let them introduce me to scenes that make me uncomfortable, but I do it so they like me. But in the end they all dump me like he did. Not a week goes by that I don't think about what happened to me. I dream of him. His lies still flowing through my head. The first time I tried to confess anything was my therapist, who said that it was my fault, and after that I never bothered. I've been on medication cocktails for depression. ADHD meds to keep my focus that I lost after the abuse started, but I'm sure if I got proper therapy that I would be able to function without these, but I'm making up stories to get this medication so I can function as a normal human being. I just needed to say something. Please talk with your children and friends and family if you notice anything off with their behavior. No one did for me and I wish I had the balls to do something about it. End of story. Next story. I had to give up my seat in public transport to an overweight woman while she gave a look of entitlement 20m here. My legs fucking hurt too. She looked like she was in her 30s. I resisted giving up my seat for a while but eventually relented because she was giving me nasty looks, and also it wasn't biologically recommended for her to stand for more than 10 seconds unless she wanted to shatter her legs. Also, fuck you lady. At least show some gratitude, as now my legs get to have fun for an hour of journey. Anyways, just wanted to rant. Rest of you, have a great day. Edit. I feel like some folks here are talking about hating fat people. Feel free to express what you want. But I don't condone that. My discontent is towards assholes, not overweight people. End of story. Next story. I'm not suicidal anymore. I'm proud of myself and I can't believe I kept going because of one person who changed my life. For the past 4 years high school has been a living hell for me. I, 18F, moved out of my country right before 9th grade with MH family for my dad's new job, and it was the worst time of my life. I cried myself to sleep every day because I missed my friends and family. I self-harmed and I developed a binge eating disorder. Over the past 4 years I felt alone and isolated. I gained 15 kilograms and it's been so hard. I struggle with anxiety, depression, and body dysmorphia. For the longest time I hated myself. When I was 15 my parents told me they were having a baby. I hated my life even more. I have 2 younger siblings and they make my life miserable, so I didn't need another sibling. I was so set to end it all and I thought that life had no purpose. My mom ended up giving birth on my birthday and she had a boy. My dad asked if I wanted to see him and I was just angry. I hated my life even more. My birthday was the one day I felt was completely about me, and it was the one day my parents showered me with love, but now this kid took it away from me. For the first year I hated him. I convinced myself that I don't like him and he is just like my other 2 siblings. I was forced to spend time with him. My parents paid me to babysit and I would spend this money on dumb things like food. I'd leave him on my bed and I'd cry in the corner and think about how much I want to die. Whenever I'd attempt it, in secret, my parents would come find me and ask me to take him to the park or spend time with them. Over time I began to accept him in my life. I'd always tell myself that I should not do it because he needs me. I suffered mentally for 3.5 years. Since quarantine started, I'd always find him coming into my room at night with his blanket and he would just say I sleep here. He made my nights so much better. He is the reason I'm still here today. For so long I wanted to tell people about how I feel, but I was scared. I never thought anyone would believe me. I haven't had suicidal thoughts since September 2020 and I'm so proud of myself. I can't tell my parents because they'd say, "Why didn't you tell us before?" And I don't want to have that conversation. I never thought a sibling I didn't want would be the one I kept going for. I no longer have panic attacks. My anxiety has gotten so much better. I'm working out again and I'm happy for the first time in so long. I'm proud of myself even if nobody else is. Sorry. Just needed a rant. Thanks, kind strangers. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.